spanked for bullying. And now I can't access my account. So there's that. Make sure that's going out right. Yep, there we go. That's on Discord. Now come over here to window or entire screen. What looks better? I mean, it kind of is the entire. I've got Restream on one of the entire screen of one of my monitors, and that's what I share to Discord and Chatter. And I didn't change my name, and it's still going to be, oh, well, that's fine. Whatever. All right, gang. I think I'm finally ready. 13 minutes into the show. So, yeah, yet another platform. I don't know if it's a woke thing. I know that, unfortunately, LinkedIn, which is not supposed to be like Facebook, has gone too much like Facebook. I don't even have headphones on yet. There we go. It's gone too much like Facebook. And Crocs and a Rolex. Hey, gang. Shout out to everybody joining on Instagram. So I don't know if LinkedIn, who I cannot broadcast to today, is more Elon Musk leaning or more Mark Zuckerberg leaning. And exactly, oh, hold on. You know what else? There we go. You want to see me. But censorship is apparently their thing of the day. Why would you just see somebody on, anyway, whatever. People on Instagram, I love that it sends you an alert that I'm live. But then check it out. Don't just leave. What good is that? All right, so back to LinkedIn. I don't know if they've gone woke or if they've gone MAGA, but they've certainly gone censorship. One of the things I'm never going to do to you is lie. And I didn't lie there either. But LinkedIn got their panties in a wad because I'm the one bullying. Their users are spreading misinformation. And they're allowing that. I'm the bad guy because I call them out for it. I don't get that. And now I've got 2 radio stations whose contracts expired last week, the end of December, the end of November, fighting to get me back. One of which is offering more hours during the course of the week. As you guys know, mostly when I start with a new station, because I'm what's called self-syndication, self-simulcasting, I'm producing everything. I've got iHeartMedia is not behind me. Westwood One Radio is not behind me. Infinity is not behind me. It's me. So I pay to be on most of these radio stations. Not all. Some are smart enough to say, hey, you know what? You might be a good fit. But I pay to be on a lot of these radio stations, which is why we're not doing affiliates anymore. You want to advertise here? It's not expensive. In fact, it's pretty damn cheap, especially for what you get. But I pay to be on these stations. And one of them is asking me and creating a deal for me to be on more times a week and trying to make it, I mean, they're playing a little bit, but they're trying to make it worth my while. Meaning more days per week. And as I got to mute this thing, and as such, more exposure. And I think that's the direction I'm going to go, is by first developing further in Atlanta, where I'm already 5 days a week and on 2 stations. And now getting that same way here in Tampa before really, unless I come up with a deal somewhere, like if KSHP in Vegas pulls their head out of their ass. The guy there, that's one that expired. In fact, it should have expired 2 weeks ago. But dude couldn't manage that. The first day, you've got a new show on your station at the beginning of the month. You just fought hard to get that paid by the end of the month. Wouldn't you remember that you've got a new member of the team forgotten about? The next week, their board operator, because apparently I'm the first show of the day, 8 o'clock in the morning. They don't have a morning show. I'm the first show of their day. The board operator gets in a car accident. Then in week 3, and remember, November had 5 Fridays. Then in week 3, we get show number 1, when we should be on a second contract and show number 3. Week 4, forgot us again. And by this point, and keep in mind, the whole point of getting this paid for by the end of October for me was to be on the air in a swing state by election day. Well, that didn't happen. And then we finally had our last show, and I didn't even know it. I was like, okay, I'm done with them. I didn't even know it. But we finally had our last show, apparently, so says this general manager, that it went off without a hitch. Well, great. We're supposed to go off without a hitch 2 weeks ago. Or last week. So I'm going to tell, if we come back to KSHP, it's got to be automated. You do other automated programs. Most of your schedule's automated. There's no reason why your system can't accept just the way WWPR did, just the way WDJY does. Tan Talk has a board operator, but Ed, as MAGA as he is, he's responsible. He's there. And anytime I need to pay anything, he's up my ass. So he's responsible for the station too. And so, I don't know. And what they offered the same price. I'm like, I'm not paying that. You're not worth it. Not for me to babysit you, which at this time I suspect I'm going to have to do. Ultimately, they need to come down in price and decently. I think we're at 150 an hour now, which for them is too much. They're not worth that. They have to come down in price. And they threw in like one show as like a, hey, sorry that November got screwed up. I actually want more than that too. I don't know how many, but they need to come down in price, and I will get some sort of bulk at least a month, probably two. But it has to be automated, and we also have to be on Facebook. I need to be on their Facebook page, just like any other show that I've got that's live. And that's going to be the same way for WTAN. I was supposed to be on theirs 2 months ago, and that didn't happen. So that's actually a call I got to make today because I want to re up with WTAN absolutely, but they need to fix some things too. What else? So LinkedIn, I school somebody that is basically lying. I don't know what it is with MAGA. Yeah, I know, the Dems do it too, but I'm still seeing this bullshit. I just got kicked off my own show. Oh, maybe it's because I'm not on it. Ugh. Discord or Chatter has a few. Oh, I was never unmuted. Oh no, that one shouldn't have been. So there I am. This happened the other day. So I was on my show the other day, and now I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm not gonna just like LinkedIn found out, and they unscrewed up themselves. I'm not gonna swear, but and now we're back on LinkedIn. But yeah, I don't understand why I'm not on. I'm not gonna. I don't have time for this. I only have an hour today. A little bit of drama, a lot of drama. Put a rainbow flag in there this time. But chatter keeps crashing. Let them see that. Share screen. Entire screen. Boom. All right. We're back on up the middle with chatter, but if that crashes again, I'm not staying. I got half an hour left and I'm barely out of the intro. So LinkedIn's on my list. You know what list. And I don't need it, is the point of all this. KSHP, if they don't come around, I'll find somebody else. Vegas has other public and brokered radio stations. I don't need them. Tan Talk, I know I can talk to, hence the name, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I know she understands too that a live show that's a worthy show is, going to be a hell of a lot better than playing podcasts when you can get that podcast on demand. Also with KSHP, a couple months ago after the first Trump assassination attempt, I appeared on one of the shows there, which is how I learned about the station. Brian Shapiro is kind of like me. He tells it how it is. He's more experienced there, and he calls people that he disagrees with sir. You guys know I don't do that, and I really have a lot of respect for him to the way he keeps his cool. He's also very knowledgeable, and that's one of the things that I forgot about when I was telling you about K-Ship is what I call. They're actually called K-Shop because they do this thing with online shopping on the radio. I don't know how you do that, but they do. So God love them. I mean, I guess it's working. But K-Shop needs to add that to their list of checked boxes for me to continue there. And it's not like I'm making a lot of demands. And it's not like I think I'm some big shot. It's just that you need to treat a customer, which is what I am, better than what I was. And so I need to get them to schedule me on Brian's show for the sole purpose of he said in the past that, I had a podcast when I was on the last, but that was like the last 30 seconds. I want a segment with him about the fact that I also talk politics and I'm also on KSHP. And that, in fact, I'm only a couple hours right before him. I just got an email from Meetup. I wonder what that's about. But yeah, I can show you guys there. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. Oh no, there it is. Okay, good. KSHP. So their schedule, you're seeing it on the screen. Yeah, good. I'm not seeing it on that screen though. There we go. Okay. So I was 8 a.m. I'm still on their schedule. Okay. Up the middle. Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific. He's there Monday through Friday. Pushing the Limits is the name of his show. 12 noon. It's 3 to 5 here. He's on at 12 and continues at 1. Pushing the Limits with Brian Shapiro. Good show. I listen to it all the time. And I learn from him. But if I'm going to lead into him, if I'm going to say something like, hey, stick around in 3 hours from now, maybe we'll get 2 hours out of him on Friday. Brian Shapiro's coming up after all this other. They got another guy that's 5 days a week, Doug Basham. I haven't heard him yet. And then if I were to do 2 hours and they get rid of this radio shopping crap that replaced me twice in November, Las Vegas commercial real estate is 3 days a week. And then T.C. Martin is also a 2-hour show that follows Brian. Yeah. So that would have to be part of it too. Is I would need to get on his show, good 15-minute segment, telling him, how, because we already talked about my Secret Service career. I already answered questions about the assassination attempt. He already cut me off every time I tried to answer something, which is kind of annoying. I get that you need to keep the conversation moving, but let me help you move it. But anyway, his show, not mine. All right, so we got some new toys. I got to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about some new segments that we're going to start tomorrow. We've already got Pierre's pot. We're staying with that. Morning motivation. We'll get to that. All that I promise. But we're starting 3 other segments so that when I get in a rant like this, I have a reason to wrap it up and get on to something else. And we'll tell you about all 3 of those segments when we come back. 99.1 WDJY and America One Radio and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after these words. I've finally begun to reach out to my own listeners with Constant Contact. Use both my link and promo code CyberWeek24 and get 40% off your first 3 months. 40%. But more importantly, you'll have all the same benefits and tools that I do. All the same templates and all of the same success. So get my Constant Contact link where you get all of my links by going to yergs.com. You still have time to reach out to your contacts in time for the holidays. Go to yergs.com, click on my Constant Contact link, and use promo code CyberWeek24 for 40% off. Remember, you need both my link and the promo code CyberWeek24. Yergs and Constant Contact. We deliver success. Do you have a podcast? Of course you do. It's probably one of the reasons why you listen to us. Well, I got something for you. Flowsend.ai. All you do is take your pre-recorded data, click, drag, and drop right into the inbox for Flowsend AI. Click a button, and out comes everything that you're going to need. From the transcript to content, such as keywords, titles for your episode, the timeline, posts for LinkedIn, posts for Twitter, Instagram, other smaller platforms, all the things that it takes you hours to do in literally minutes. So go to flowsend.ai. Tell them Yerg sent you and get your subscription today. worth every penny. Flowsend.ai. I threw in an extra commercial there because I had finished getting coffee. So, to keep things moving and to inspire me to wrap it up every time I get into a 30-minute long rant, or inspire me to be more readily set up, which I almost was, but then it happens every day. That's why I kind of like, what was his name? The guy that I watch on Twitch. Some a bit, and everybody's going to say I just suck with names. It's not because he's Obama scolds a heckler. Good for you, Barry. I'm going to read that later. Twitch. Let's see if I can just log into my own account quick and find him. Oh, that's not it. Following. What was I following? That's him there. Hassan. It's Hassan Abi or whatever, but there's something else. Like, what is his actual name? This guy that's on your screen, most of you. I can put him up here too for. I like he's very low key, very casual, and he's just more. But he's also more streaming. He's also not on the radio. There is visual to replace silence, but I can't think of what his last name is. It's Hassan something. It's not Abi. I don't know where the screen name comes from. That might be part of his name. I don't know. But that dude, he's real chill. So what we're gonna moving forward, so I don't get into the rant like I did 20 minutes ago. I mean, I will. I'm just gonna, cut it off and keep things moving. Part of what is missing from journalism right now is holding the feet to a fire of the people who need to be held to a fire. Perfect example is our incoming 47th president. We should have learned that when his number was 45, but apparently that didn't happen. So now we have an opportunity to do it again when he comes in this time around. And so every day, I don't know what we're going to do on Fridays because I've got Matt and Blake. But maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be the three things we talk about. And because we don't do Pierre's Pot, we don't do morning motivation. I think I kind of bore them with that. So we just get right into talking with them. I think one of the things that we need there is more structure too. So starting tomorrow, one of the segments during the show, and this is going to be with Translating Trump, which is Wednesdays with Philip Blackett. But in Translating Trump, we're also going to be tracking Trump And that part is going to be translating Trump is a kind of sub show within Up the Middle. It's every Wednesday with Philip Lackett. He is our Trump translator. He's the guy that explains the Trump administration to us. So we're less confused, in theory. Tracking Trump is us holding his feet to the fire, is us being a watchdog, Mastiff, is us being a watchdog and just following what he's doing and making sure, like we're going to have a lot of say in anything, but at least making sure that things are going. We can, hopefully tell you, do something. Up next will be monitoring MAGA. You seeing a pattern here? Tracking Trump, monitoring MAGA. That is a broad approach to taking a look at the right, meaning that it doesn't have to it won't necessarily be Trump. It could be anybody else in the Trump administration, or at this point, those trying to get into it. But to be fair and balanced, to go up the middle, to review both sides of the political spectrum, we're also going to report on wayward wokeness. I don't agree with a lot of the agenda from the left, contrary to popular belief. It's not all who I am. Yeah, I'm progressive in many ways. I'm also, shout out, shocker, ready, here it comes. I'm also conservative in many ways. A lot of people don't see that. Well, okay, fine. You don't see it. You don't have to. Doesn't mean it ain't there. Got a lot of people joining on shout out, or a shout out to a lot of people joining on Instagram today. Also YouTube, D Live, Twitch that we were just on. So those three. And what I would love, if you help me produce that, if you have anything you would like to see reported on tracking Trump, monitoring MAGA, and wayward wokeness, hit us up, news, NEWZ at Yergs.com. NEWZ at Yergs.com. And don't forget, we don't, well, I'm taking your questions, sure. But the other one we have is join the conversation. There we go. So, yeah, I'm kind of psyched because it's going to give more structure, and I think we're especially going to incorporate those three on Friday, where we need the structure the most. I mean, there's great conversation between the three of us. Matt is much more energetic and involved. I think he was really preoccupied with the campaign leading up to November, and now that's not an option anymore. I'm bummed because I'd really love to see him come. He'd be so much better than the other asshat. But is what it is. We're happy to have him, without question. Blake as well. He joined us yesterday, as you saw. And now, I'm going to put it. We were talking about something that we were going to do we have our own chat group on Facebook Messenger. Yeah, so last thing I need is to get suspended from that too. Speaking of which, he's The more I think about this pardon, the more I think the Dems are the worst, effing worst. No, I don't agree. I think the fact that you're still thinking about it is ridiculous. It's over. He's pardoned. You're not going to change that the more you think about it. Not going to happen. Let it go. And that's kind of part of it. That's why he did it, to put this to bed. I agree with Blake. I would really love to see him pardon Trump, so Trump can get on with making America great again, if that really even needs to be. Look, I want to see Trump do well. When I was wrong about the election, I had to say that I was wrong about the election because Trump won. Okay, fine. I will say that. I said that. I'll say it again. I'll say that for the rest of my life. Trump won. But I don't want to have to say that I told you so, because that's going to make matters worse. If I was right that he should have lost, so I would love to be wrong again. I would love that. I'm just not convinced it's going to happen. When you nominate Pete Hegseth, who's barely a Boy Scout, to be the Secretary of Defense, and you nominate this other knucklehead to be the director of the FBI, who doesn't know anything about law enforcement. And let's not forget your Attorney General nomination. Those are actually some of the important ones. Eileen Cannon is a federal judge. Maybe she shouldn't be, but you know what? We can forget about her. Pathetic though she may be. The director of the FBI, that's kind of a big deal. The Secretary of Defense and the Attorney General, they're kind of important people. Your Director of National Intelligence should not be a threat to national intelligence. I understand why people say they want to leave the country. It's the safest thing to do. But so we have a chat, a group, the three of us on Facebook, and we were talking about something. Blake and I get in the most intense discussion. I love it, and I love the dude. It's not like I hate some MAGA guy. First of all, he's not a MAGA guy, or even a conservative. But I'm trying to scroll through. I think Matt said, it looks like this is what we're talking about on Friday. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we have a Friday show, Laugh Out Loud, because let's go Brandon. We were talking about millionaires paying their fair share, millionaires and billionaires. I don't think they do. I know the right, who's all tight with those people, says that they pay X percent comes from them and blah blah blah. Well, that's great. Here's the problem with that. It doesn't come close to matching the percent of the income that's made compared to those of us in middle class or lower. So while I'm paying about 30% plus or minus, Elon Musk is paying 1%. Oh, he paid millions in taxes. Yeah, well, he made billions this month. Tell me how that's okay. And don't say that he puts it back into the economy. If he was putting it back into the economy, people wouldn't be complaining about Tesla's cars sucking. If he was putting back into the economy, he worried about the people that are starving instead of putting people on a planet somewhere else. And by the way, if there was life on Mars, there's probably a reason it's not there anymore. Just throwing a little common sense into your science, Elon. So anyway, one of the things I forgot to get out. Give me 1 second because we're wrapping up we got about 6 minutes left. And I don't know why, but WDJY has been logging off. And I know it's automated. It's not them. But I got to be ready at like 11:59 instead of checklist. And here I have the list of affiliates. And I want to start going over that every day because I've been wanting to do a lot more live commercials for some of these people. Constant Contact, you've already heard about. Go to yergs.com. There's a link there if you want to get a Constant Contact account. I love them. They're so much better than what they used to be. They really are. You have to use my link to get this. Okay? So pay attention here. Go to yergs.com. Go to one link to get another one. All right? Yergs.com. YERGZ.com. Click on the Constant Contact link. That's mine. It's really long and convoluted, or I'd give it to you now. But click on that link and then click use promo code CyberWeek24. And I think that's for the rest of this week. And what you get is, it's crazy what you get off the discount you're going to get. And there'll be another one after that, but it's not going to be as much. I think this one's 40%. I think it's 40% for 3 months. And then when this one expires, you can still use my link for 30% for 3 months. But get the extra 40. Get the extra 10 now. BuyBlackett.com. Philip Blackett from our Wednesday show has his own merch. You can get that at buyblackett.com. And it's not like with his name on it. It's cool stuff. It's just very patriotic, very supportive, and not MAGA supportive, really. I got to be honest. It's not. So check that out. Go to buyblackett.com/Yergs. We've actually got a QR code for that. Throw that up there. Oh, that's where his books. That one that's on your screen now is for his books. I'm going to put this one up in the corner. Buyblackett.com. Use that screen. That is the /Yergs. Buyblackett.com/Yergs, and you get 15% off the merch there. I'll leave that up. Limit Break Digital. Go to limitbreakdigital.com and get 10% off your next project if you mention me. And that's who does yergs.com. I got to message him today too. Oh God, I got a long day. Aroma by Peter is another one I got to reach out to. We use his candles here in the doghouse. I don't know what his discounts are, what he's got, but I know he's got a holiday collection that's either out. It's got to be out by now. It's December, for God's sake. Capital One, you can get a referral from me. And when you get a new credit card from Capital One, there's some sort of other reward there. Also Frontier Internet. I love Frontier Internet. And remember, these are all things that, I take part in or that I support one way or another. But I love Frontier Internet. I've got the 1,000 up and down right now, and I'm about to upgrade that to 2. But yeah, there's a referral link there. Use that. And they got some sort of, I got to figure out what it is, but they got some sort of deal too. Rumble. We're on Rumble right now. And you can go to rumble.com and watch us there. But also use that link on yergs.com and start your own membership. I think they got free accounts. That might be what I'm on. But if you really want to get serious with it, like we're going to upgrade that too. Yeah, use that link to do it. And finally, Podmatch. This is another good one. Go to joinpodmatch.com/Yergs. And what they do is if you have your own podcast, or if you're a guest, you want to be guests on podcasts, on radio shows, etc., you get a membership there. And all they do, there's no, it's not like LinkedIn, like I was bitching about earlier, who's supposed to be for business networking. And then all of a sudden now we got people thinking it's Facebook, and they kind of side with the MAGA. I guess they're kind of side with the MAGA people because they suspended me. But Podmatch is just about you and whoever else that you want to be on their show or you want to have on your show, whatever the deal. Joinpodmatch.com/Yergs and get your membership there. 99.1 WDJY. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Same thing with America One Radio. Translating Trump, Philip Blackett will be here, and we're going to talk about whatever's going on there. I'll probably hang out for a little bit longer, especially if hit me up with any questions about what's going on right now. Some of these cabinet picks, I saw a Facebook meme. Somebody was holding a sign at some demonstration. I've seen smarter cabinets at IKEA. Yeah. But what's that the MAGA folks say? Hey, that's Trump. No, that's our country, asshat. Oh, there we go. I'm taking a screenshot. It was like my wide. I should have that's fine. Whatever. Yeah. I'm going to have a job for the next 4 years. Oh, there goes 99.1. I get this ding tone in my, and then I gotta come here but I don't have to because I'm still on Yerg's radio and Rainbow Radio. Just that the green light on my console goes out unless I uncheck 99.1. What is it? America One Radio. They have something that's more. They have something that's more automated. They don't actually get the direct feed. They get the feed that you hear on Yerg's radio. So if you were to listen to America One Radio, you'd be hearing it a little bit later than essentially everywhere else. But I mean, it's seconds. It's not that big of a deal. And then of course, I'm going back and I'm looking at all these different platforms. That I wish Instagram would timestamp when people join, because I'm grateful for everybody. I just wish you'd stay a little longer. At least YouTube, you guys hang. And you click on, you click on, I can see that a couple of people clicked on the QR codes that we put up there. But yeah, so KSHP, they're on my poo-poo list. LinkedIn, I could care less. I really could care less. Because I was actually doing well. And I was actually grateful for LinkedIn because I was really getting networking stuff done. And now all I see on my feed is political BS. I think I got to tag them on Facebook. And all I did was respond to it. Yeah, I might have called somebody a pussy, but they were. I might have called somebody that I made them my bitch, but I did. Anyway, let's look at this. Obama schools a heckler. Obama, am I on here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Obama scolds heckler, but stays silent on state of Democrats in return to spotlight. Well, I think they're in the position that I said the Republicans had been in. What I mean by that is this: in 2020, after Biden unseated Trump, I got to say congrats to the Trump administration for not quitting and for coming back the way I didn't, as we all discussed, I didn't think you would. But they did. And historically, it hasn't been done in more than 100 years. But it's not practical. It's not normal. Or it would have been done in less than 100 years. So my thing was, because they don't have anybody else that they haven't scared away, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Mitt Romney, who could have come back. I mean, if Trump can run, Mitt Romney's in way better shape than he is. I wash my face with a hot rag. I get eye boogers anyway. So former President Barack Obama avoided referencing Democrats' bruising election defeats during a forum with former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The pair's conversation at the Anthem in Washington, D.C. on Monday marked the first time Obama stepped into the spotlight since Vice President Kamala Harris lost the election to President-elect Donald Trump. At one point, the former president was forced to respond to a heckler in a moment reminiscent of his time on the campaign trail, something he was very good at. Obama campaigned for Harris this fall, at one point chastising black men for their lack of enthusiasm for the vice president. However, he avoided making any overt references to the election during his appearance on Monday evening. His silence comes as some Democrats, including Obama's own former Homeland Security Secretary, have argued his influence over the party is fading. Okay. He's also a former president. He was now 1, 2, 3 presidents ago. Instead of discussing how the Democratic Party could move forward after losing the White House and Senate, Obama reflected upon what inspired him to enter politics and question Merkel about her career as a journalist. I don't know. Maybe that's what the thing was there for in the first place. Maybe when you have a former foreign head of state or head of government, or maybe she's both, I don't know, as a guest in your country, you should probably be talking about that person. Just in case manners went out the window too, with common sense. The pair's conversation, which centered on Merkel's new book, Freedom, Memories 1954 to 2021, had to be paused when a disputer in the crowd shouted at Obama, trying to ask him a question near the end of the event. "People came to listen to Angela Merkel and not you, young lady," he said. "You can organize your own event, and people can come and listen to you and your questions. But right now they're here to listen to Angela Merkel, so be respectful." Yeah, well said. Oh, I know that bookstore. Oh, all the presidents go there. That's up. It's up near the zoo. Politics and Prose. Bookstore and coffee house. Yeah, that's what it is. Obama's retorts were enough to drown out the heckler, for which he was applauded. But it was clear the former president grew frustrated with the interruption. Obama was president during a portion of Merkel's tenure as German leader. The pair reflected on their experiences getting into politics during the event. Let's see which one's saying this. This is Obama. "I wasn't raised in a political family. and it wasn't a focus of my attention. Basically, nothing was a focus of my attention during high school other than basketball and girls and fun, Obama said, later saying that the path was a little bit winding for me. Trying to bring and change about change came first, and then politics just came. And then politics was just one possible means of doing it. Merkel dwelt on the. Now, why is he talking if we're here to listen to her? Merkel dwelt on the challenges she felt she faced as a woman in German politics. When I entered politics and was a candidate for the chancellorship, I realized rather quickly that there was a reservation. People thought, quote, will a woman be able to do that? And she reminisced, yeah, we still can't get past that. Although Merkel also worked with Trump during his first term in office and offered a scathing review of him in her new book, she, like Obama, avoided mentioning Trump. Obama did make several subtle references to the current political environment in the U.S. Unfortunately, our politics doesn't always, partly because of changes in media, you don't have a common conversation, he said. It becomes harder and harder, I think, for people to feel that they can reach out and be curious about others. Yeah, it's us versus them. That's all it is right now. I think that so much of the challenge that we have now in our politics is how do we get people to feel as if they are genuinely heard, genuinely seen, genuinely respected? Yeah, well, that's why you're here. That's why you listen to me. That's why you go with me up the middle every day. It's 10 after. I am going to wrap up. We'll be back tomorrow with, and I'll put this in the show notes, we'll be back tomorrow with Translating Trump and Philip Blackett. We'll take him through all those new sections. And yeah, looking forward to it. 99.1 is over. So
wake up, goddammit!
Yeah, pull yourself together. That's it, gang. Thanks for going with me up the middle. Thanks for running with the big dogs. We will see you tomorrow.